The recession got you. Do this now. Fast. In a report from the International Monetary Fund, the 2020 Great Lockdown might be worse than the 2008 global financial crisis. In fact, this may be worse for the economy than the Great Depression. So, how big is the current recession? Well, in just 3 months, 40 million people have lost their jobs in the US alone, while 70% of businesses were affected because of the lockdown. Stores, manufacturing companies, even entire cities shut down in fear of getting a coronavirus infection. Plus, add in a huge heap of political instability, and that pretty much defines the 2020 economic recession. Everything is just too crazy. Are you ready? Because the recession got you, and you have to do this now, fast. But hold on, before we get to the bottom of this, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so that we can keep you updated on the latest financial tips and trends. Let's face it, most Americans are not prepared to survive an economic recession. In a survey by Go Banking Rates in 2019, results show that 69% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. That includes 45% who claim they have no savings at all. In addition, 15% don't have any retirement plans. So, if you're part of the 69%, hopefully these financial tips will help you survive the recession and maybe even push you to have more than $1,000 in savings. Now let's get started with number 6. Number 6, reassess your priorities. Let's go back to the basics of financial planning. Budgeting. Now, what I want you to do is make 2 lists. The first one is your survival number. These include non-negotiable living expenses, like your mortgage, your electricity bill, things that will literally keep you off the streets. The next are things that you can live without, whether it's a monthly subscription to a streaming app or payments for a monthly gym membership. These are things that you can definitely live without. Reassess that list and see if there are things that you can hold back on for a while or haven't really used in the past few months. Cancel those subscriptions that you don't really use anymore. Remember, those can add up to a few $100s. And during a recession, every penny counts. Number 5, get your savings. If you don't have an emergency fund, then today's a good time to start stashing cash right now. Go back to your survival number. You want to save as much as 3 to 6 months worth of cash in case you get laid off. That will give you the peace of mind to know that you can survive in the next few months with enough cash to keep you going. Another great tip is to set a separate bank account that has a high interest rate for your emergency fund. Why? Well, having an additional $60 during a recession is a great deal, especially if you want to stretch out your finances. Online-only banks like CIT Bank and even micro-saving apps like Robinhood also offer high interest savings without the hassle. Number 4, settle your debts. Getting new loans for things such as buying a new car or even co-signing one is something that experts really argue against. Let's face it, debt is an important factor to consider. In fact, it's a huge problem when the economy is up, and it becomes a whole lot worse during a recession. What you might want to do is prioritize those high-interest debts, like your credit cards, medical debts, student loans. You might want to pay it off as much as you can, especially in case you lose your job. Another great tip is to remember that cash is king. Since credit card loans have high interest rates, you want to pay as much as possible in cash. This way, you'd actually feel guiltier to spend seeing the bills leave your wallet and at the same time, totally avoid using your credit card. But don't lose that card just yet. There are still credit card companies that offer cash back with every purchase. Some even offer a 2 or 3% cash back, which is a great deal. You just have to make sure that you get your payments on time. Otherwise, your entire year's worth of cash back might just go down the drain. Number 3, invest. If you're an investor, now is not the time to make big changes in your financial strategies. What you can do is to try and build a well-diversified, balanced investment mix so you can cut down your risks. These include your retirement plans, your bonds, real estate, and other types of investments. Make sure that your money is spread out so that if one industry gets hit, you still have another stream of income or access to other assets. Plus, while the economy is down, now is a great time to start buying stocks when the prices are still low. Because once the economy recovers and stocks shoot up, you will definitely have your money's worth. Number 2, get a side hustle. Aside from your regular job, you also have to find new ways to earn money. Thanks to online platforms like Upwork, you can find endless job listings that would suit you and your skills. That way, even when you lose your full-time job, you still have another one to rely on. Also, grab those free online classes and webinars. Now is the time to invest in yourself by learning a new skill. Doing so can enable more job offers and even higher pay. Number 1, take a deep breath. While it might be easy to be swept away with the scary news or the fear of an economic collapse, you have to relax and take a deep breath. Yes, your portfolio might get hit. You might just lose a huge amount of money or even have your job on the line. But the last thing that you want to do is panic. What you want right now is to make financial decisions with a clear head. Because the truth is, while the word recession can sound pretty scary, it's part of an economic cycle. In fact, from January 2009 to February of 2020, the world has seen 128 months of market expansion. Now, this expansion came to a screeching halt as most countries issued strict lockdown orders to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Whether it's a pandemic or a collapse of the housing market, economies have their boom and bust cycles. And just like the recessions before, the market will eventually bounce back. Yes, it's bad, but you also have to realize that these fears and worries can be amplified by the media. That's because fear sells. And the more we fear, the more we want to know. So while it's great to stay updated to make informed decisions, you might want to take a media break from all the craziness out there. What you have to do is to focus on your next move. You have to work towards creating a long-term plan that can prepare you, no matter what the economy is. In the long run, you want to create a long-term goal that can stand any economic downturn. To do that, you have to stay focused on what you can control and worry less about the things that you can't change. Have you experienced a recession? What financial tips helped you survive it? Tell us more in the comments below.